Stay tuned. All right? Yes. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Certainly, it's a pleasure to be asked to address this group this afternoon, and I must congratulate the association for hosting such a forum. And I've been asked to address the topic of the mental health, mental well-being of males in our society. And I emphasize mental well-being, because when we talk about mental well-being, we're talking about the emotional, the psychological, spiritual, and social well-being. So it's in a broad perspective. And it's very sad to say that when we look at the data in terms of well-being of men in our society, we realize that, like, look at some statistics, for example. Worldwide, over 3/4 of persons who kill themselves are males. 3/4 of adults who go missing, males. And Dr. Taylor also pointed out the gang membership, majority, if not all persons in gangs, males. When we look at institutions, mental institutions such as a medical hospital or a penal institution like prison, or when you look at shelters, right? Look at the homeless population, who are the majority of persons? Males. Yes? And this is not only true for Jamaica, I must say, this is true worldwide. So, in most societies, males seem to fall through the cracks. The majority, both males and females, right, fall through the crack. And when I come back, when I look at, for example, mental disorders, yes, I'm a psychiatrist, and at any time when I walk into my office, the majority of patients who are sitting there are women, females. And you ask, where are the men? And we also know that one of the commonest mental is depression. Yes? Commonest disorder, and I tell you, Orville and other persons, the rate of depression spiked during the pandemic. In fact, I've never had to treat as many persons with depression. In every day it was just depression. Common mental disorder. And we notice who were the people coming into office for the treatment of their depression. The majority were females. And I jokingly say to people, when women get depressed, before they come to the psychiatrist, where they go. And I'm sure you all know the answer. They go to church. Men get depressed where they go to the bar. And I know some of you are saying they go to the wrong bar, which is true. Yes? And in a sense, it tells you a lot, in terms of how men deal with their mental health issues. Not only mental health, but even their physical health issues. And in fact, this is one of the reasons why women outlive men. Again, Dr. Taylor spoke to that. Women outlive the men in most situations, yes? And it's because males do not take care of their physical, and I will add mental health, yes? And this is of course because we know, and I'm speaking now specifically of our mental health issues, because gender stereotypes, right? When a man is depressed, and I'm going to focus on the common disorder, I'm going to focus on my discussion today. When a man is depressed, yes, he will not come forward to seek help, yes? Or if he's anxious or he's having any mental or emotional health problems. And this is because of the stereotypes and how men are socialized, they are brought up in society. They're expected to be breadwinners, and men are expected to be strong. Unfortunately, in some communities, they're expected to be wrong, right? And at all times, they're expected to be dominant and in control. So, because of that, it's harder for men to reach out for help and to open up because of how we're socialized in society. It's hard for us to talk about emotions. In fact, some would laugh if a man were to step into the room and say, well, I want to express how I feel. Yes, because a man is not supposed to feel and he's not supposed to express his feelings because that may be seen as a sign of weakness. And so because in many societies, as is in Jamaica, men do not adequately take care of their emotional and psychological health. We find that they tend to use more harmful coping methods. And I mentioned some of them before. Men are more likely to attempt suicide. And that is also true here. When you look at the suicide statistics in Jamaica, the majority of persons who actually complete suicide are males. And usually males who have access to lethal weapons like firearms. Fortunately for us, I've touched on the matter of suicide, but fortunately for us, Jamaica has a low suicide rate. And in fact, studies that I have done with others at the University of West Indies indicate that the suicide rate is one of the lowest in the world. So that's good, fortunately for us. But still, majority of persons who commit suicide in Jamaica are males. Men, as I said, engage in harmful coping methods. And again, I alluded to the fact that when a man is depressed, he's likely to use drugs and alcohol as coping methods, right? Which have long-term harmful consequences, not only on the emotion, but also on the body. So, as I focus on depression, because if there's anything, any condition we go away this evening remembering, I want us to remember depression. Very common. We all should be able to recognize the common signs of depression and see how they can affect us. So, when a man or a woman is depressed, one sign is that you find that there's no energy, you lack energy and start getting pleasure out of life. And pleasure out of the many things that people like to engage in with sex. A very common one is man depressed, don't have any desire for sex, go home to his wife, spouse, and she's going to accuse, not recognizing that man is depressed, right? And the accusation is that if I'm another one inside, and of course, the implication for the relationship. But we're not giving men now an excuse to take home when you have a partner outside and you come home and you don't want to have sex with your partner in the house. You use it and say it's depressed, right? Because then what you really should do is go and seek treatment. So the decreased pleasure, decreased motivation. Another common feature of depression is people get sad and irritable and easily angered, yes? And in these states, you're irritable, angry, and that sort of thing, and added to that, you may be using alcohol. It increases the possibility of your coming home and being violent towards your partner, towards your children, and the long-term implication of that is going to affect your relationship and your family. Lots of people, when they're depressed, they have difficulty sleeping, falling asleep at night, and if they do fall asleep, they find that sleep is interrupted. They tend to get up early morning, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, yes? And so these are some of the common features of depression. Decreased energy is another one. And I know quickly, another common symptom of depression is just inability to concentrate, to come to work, and you find that you just can't focus on the work. Yes? You try to watch a movie, you can't focus on it. You try to read a book or something, you have difficulty focusing. All of this may be suggesting that you have signs of depression. And then, of course, in severe forms, you may begin to question the purpose of life. What's the purpose of, in terms of living? And even further, some people may have suicidal thoughts, and when it gets worse, they commit suicide. So it's very important for us to recognize the signs of depression. And if there's anything that we're going to leave here today, I want people to remember is that depression is a treatable condition. Yes? You go and see your family doctor or your psychiatrist or psychologist, and you put on, some people may need therapy, but other people may need to go on meditation. You go on meditation, and you'll see the dramatic response in 2 to 4 weeks, yes? And I must congratulate lots of males who, during the pandemic, maybe just the effect of the pandemic, actually forced them to actually come into treatment, As I said, never treated as many people with depression over the course of my career as I had to during the pandemic. And so, very important for us to recognize the early signs of a common disorder such as depression and to seek treatment because it's a treatable condition. Another quick point I'm going to share with us is the need for us to deal with our emotions. Yes? This is a major problem that in many societies, males find it difficult to express their emotion. And this is true. Yeah, man, we are talking about you should not feel this. And if you in fact talk about Jamaican out there, the males, they ask them, how you feel? They say, I feel away. And that's not a feeling. But it's reflective of the fact that as a society, we don't teach our children, and especially the males, to express their feelings. Yes? And so, when people are sad, when they're angry, when they're frustrated, we allow our emotions to pent up inside of us, and then it begins to manifest itself in many ways: anger, physical health problems. And I'm going to share with us a quick technique to use to express your emotions. The first is that you have to develop what we call a feeling vocabulary, to know when you're angry, when you feel sad, when you feel depressed, when you're disappointed. And I'm going to tell the males in the world listening that, look, it's a simple technique and it can improve your life at the workplace. It can improve your life within your family, relationship with your spouse, and also relationship with your children. And so, what this is technique, I think, to express emotions, because a lot of times, the way we express our emotions in Jamaica is that we use what we call you message. We attack people like, you diss me, why I don't like how you talk to me, you shouldn't talk to me like that, right? And when we begin to communicate like that using what we call you message, yes, it sets up a lot of tension and conflict. Let's say you go home this evening and your daughter or your son, you find them, they're not doing their homework, right? And you expected them to complete their homework, the PEP exam, preparing for next week or next year or kid or CSEC, whatever. But you expect them to be doing their homework, when you go home you realize that they're on the computer watching movies and so on. And instead of us speaking to them in an appropriate way, expressing our emotions, what we do is we attack them. You're watching television, you're not going to pass your exam, you're worthless, you're no good. Yes? We use a new message. A more appropriate technique is to start by using what we call I message, as in the letter I. And so somebody who goes on the computer, on the phone, not doing homework, how would you feel? And I'm sure you'd say, I feel disappointed, or I feel concerned, or I feel angry. And that's Jason. I'm spoken, we're not done. I feel very disappointed. Yes, express how you feel. Because, so it starts with I feel because what I want. So feel very disappointed or concerned because for the third time this week, I come home, I notice the homework is not being done. And what I want you to do is to make greater effort to do your homework. Those three sentences can change quality of the relationship with your colleagues at work, your partners and your children, expressing your emotions and being comfortable to do so. I feel because what I want. And I want to encourage us to read it up and practice it. And before I come to an end, the third thing I want to touch on is our emotional well-being and physical well-being later in life. Because a lot of leaders in this society, unfortunately, they end up being isolated from family, some of them from friends, yes? And you know all the studies that have shown that, well, let me, all the studies have shown, because we think that the people who are enjoying a better emotional state, who are happier later in life, that it is, one would probably think that is money and fame that would be a major factor. And it's not. In fact, years ago I Harvard University, and I mean, it's all over on YouTube and so on. You can check it out by this guy, one week ago, who reported a famous study done by Harvard University. Then they followed them up into their 90s. And when they looked at the data, the men who were enjoying a better emotional state in terms of well-being, even physical well-being, what made the difference was social connections. High value social connections. And so I want to just remind us that in life it's important.
Technology.
Sure.
Yeah, can you last if I'm over here?
I went to Woodman's, yes. I don't know if we might have got disconnected at the far little while.
Yeah, can you rewind a little bit, Dale?
What's that?
Can you step back a little bit? We lost you for about 40 seconds.
Yes, I was talking about the Harvard study, and when they looked at the data, what it showed was what made a difference in terms of people's emotional well-being and physical well-being was high-value social connection, especially among men. And what I was also saying is that it's so important for us to nurture these social connections with family, with your children. Far too many men even in this country don't have a good relationship with their children. And it starts with how we deal with them, how we discipline them. And that is why even learning to communicate with them is important, as simple as it may sound. But it's important as we go through life that we invest in our relationships, social connections, yes? As the Harvard study showed. And that is why, as I was saying, I went to Woodman, but I admire the 40s, people, because they're certainly as the KC Good Boys really established a powerful, a strong network. That is why many men join large and become part of their church network. But whatever it is, yes, I just want to remind us the importance of investing in good, high-value social connections, and it starts with your family, because these are things that are important that will contribute to our mental and emotional well-being, especially as we get older. That is why you have so many men out there, you know, the fact that contribute to them being out here and being homeless or ending up in institutions, and it's because they have never invested in these social connections. And so, as I come to an end, you know, I just want to remind us of the 3 take-home messages, right? 1, the importance of recognizing features of depression. If you suspect that you have depression, seek help, early help, yes. It's not a sign of weakness. Remember to improve your communication style and to learn to express emotions using this iMessage technique. And lastly, invest in social connections. That contributes to emotional and physical well-being later in life. And having said that, I just want to say thank you very much for this opportunity to share with you this afternoon.
Give him a round of applause. See, I told you.